Right guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got a little bit of a different battle report for you. What we're going to do is me and Sharpy are going to play through one of the easier missions, the open war mission that comes free from the Games Workshop website. And we're going to play through it with the contents of the Dark Imperium box. Sharpy hasn't played 8th edition 40k before, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him. We're going to talk through the rules slowly as we go through the first couple of turns, and then obviously hopefully by the time we get to sort of turn 4 and 5 you'll be able to follow this along reasonably well. So if you haven't played 40k or you want to get a little bit better understanding of the rules, we do try and cover most of the rules in this battle report. Very quick note though, we did get one or two rules slightly incorrect. We forgot disgustingly resilience on Poxwalkers. I don't think in this game it would have made much difference, but you'll see when we get there. We also forgot the 6s generate extra attack for the Plague Marines for their special rule, and I believe Sharpy assumed that the champion had 2 wounds, but he does not. I don't think it would have made a massive outcome difference to the game, but
Liberian.
Let's have a quick look through the contents of the box and let's start the game. So this is the Space Marine side of the Dark Imperium box. We've got 2 5-man intercessor squads, which are basically longer bolt rifles, 2 wound marines with AP -1. We've then got a Hellblaster squad, which is basically plasma, which can be overcharged. We've got an interceptor squad with assault bolters, which are basically 18-inch range heavy bolters, or 15-inch range. And they're carrying 2 each.
Wonderful.
Yeah. We've then got the Gravis Armour Captain, we've got 2 Lieutenants, and the Primaris Ancient as well. No idea how many points this is added up, but it's the contents, so we're going to go for that.
So this is the Nurgle side of the box. So we've got the Lord of Contagion down here with his axe. We've got the Blightbringer, and we have the Malignant Plaguecaster,
which is basically a sorcerer.
Yes.
So we're going to get to see some sight.
Yeah. We've got your normal Death Guard units of Space Marines, or Plague Marines even.
Yep.
With the Captain with Power Fist and Swords, with the new weapon that they've got, as well as the Plasma.
Yep.
As well as the Fetid Blight Drone and a big unit of 20 Poxwalkers.
Nice. Right, so here we go guys. This is the table. Because we're just playing with the starter set, we are just playing on a 4x4. So we've just got a couple of little pieces of ruins and some shrubbery and everything. Basically the deployment is this side. So we are playing the Only War mission, which is the free one that is available in a PDF from Games Workshop's website. It is also the first mission in the rulebook attached to the back of the core rules. So it says that we start by rolling off, and the winner places the first objective, Sharpy. So my roll, I'll get a 2, which means Sharpy's probably going to go first. 3, you beat us for once.
I know, right? Higher than a 1, what's going on?
So you get to place the first objective, and they're not allowed to be within 10 inches of each other.
Right.
So you get to put down the first objective now. So where are you thinking of putting this one? Okay, which means I then put the second objective down, and they can't actually be within 10 inches of each other. So I want to put one here, and then back to Sharpy.
I'm gonna put one over there.
Okay, so I'm going to put one here. Right, so once that 4 objectives are put down, we now dice off to see who rolls for the primary objective. So I get a 2, and a 2, and I get a 6,
yeah,
and Sharpy gets a 1. So basically, you roll off, and then whoever rolled the highest rolls another D3 on the mission chart. So I rolled a 5, that is domination. At the end of each turn, each objective marker is worth 1 victory point to the player who controls it. keep a running score from turn to turn. Now, to control the objective markers, you have to have more models than your opponent within 3 inches of it, not 6 like Sigmar. So you have to be within 3 inches of the objective to control it, and more models. And bear in mind, you've got a lot more models than me, I think.
Oh yeah.
But we'll have to see. So let's move on to deployment. Right, so because I rolled on the primary objectives table, Sharpy then gets to divide the table. Now normally on a bigger table, obviously it would make quite a big difference, but in this case we are going to just literally half it down the middle, so it's 2 halves.
Yeah.
Which means that because Sharpy divided the table, I get to pick which deployment zone. And for ease, I'm just going to say this side. And then what we do is Sharpy would set up his first unit, and what we do at that point is we then alternate, him setting up 1 unit, me setting up 1 unit, back to him, and so forth, until one player has deployed all of their unit. Right, so the deployment zones are 12 inches from the table edge. So obviously there's mine, and Sharpy's is up there. Now because I chose my deployment side, Sharpy is going to get to put his first unit down first. So what is going and where? Blood drone is going at that side.
Yep. Now,
if a unit has the rules to say that it can be set up elsewhere, for example in orbit, you count still as setting that up, but in orbit. Yep. So I'm going to set these up in orbit. Wonderful. Which means it's now back to Sharpy to pick his next unit.
Marines.
And of course he can go the full 12 inches in. Cover will come into effect in this game, but we'll explain it as it comes up. So there we go, that's all the Marines down. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my Hellblasters down here. Because I want to control this objective basically. Which means it's now back at Sharpy.
That's that. It's going to go a bit there.
Cool, which means I'm going to put a squad of Marines. I'm going to have to leave them out of cover if I want them to shoot, because there's no holes or windows in that building. The rules for buildings and ruins and things have changed now, whereas previously in 7th edition, if you were here, you could literally move to there. Not anymore. You have to physically go all the way around. This bit you can climb over, or if there's a window you can climb through it, but you can't physically go through the walls anymore, which is good.
Yeah, a wall is now a wall.
A wall is now a wall, yes. So, what unit is going down next? You seem to be keeping back a little way. Are you trying to outshoot me, basically?
No, that's not what's going on.
Okay. So then next up, I will have the other squad of intercessors, and I'm going to put them up here. And the squads have to remain within an inch of each other. So, models remain within an inch of each other, and that is the coherency of the squad. And it's actually 2 inches, not an inch. I'm thinking Sigmar again. So it's 2-inch squad coherency. So back over to Sharpy. You got the Poxwalkers. Oh, big blob of 20.
Yep.
You're putting them right back there in the cover. Now, interestingly, do Poxwalkers have a 7+ save?
They do, so it means that I actually only get a 6 now.
Yeah, once they're in cover, obviously you're adding +1 to the save.
Yeah.
Now, I know in Sigmar, a lot of things had a save of dash, and that meant that you couldn't improve it by any means. But by giving the Poxwalkers a 7+ save, the +1 modifier of the cover for +1 means that if you roll a 6, you add the 1, it becomes a 7. You successfully pass your save on the roll of a 7. So whilst Sharpy is finishing those guys off, I'm going to put my Gravis Armor Captain in there. So Sharpy's finished with the Poxwalkers, and like I said, I put the Gravis Armor Captain down there. And then the Lord of Contagion has deployed in orbit because I didn't realise he's actually a Terminator, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is me lieutenants can deploy together instantly, interestingly enough, because of the company command rule. So they are going to deploy there, but they do count now as 2 separate units after deployment. And then finally, I'm going to put the banner here, so that anybody that dies there on the roll of a 4+ gets to do something before they die. Now at this point, obviously Sharpy finished setting up first, which is why I finished off with the last couple of models in one go. And normally at this point, he would go first unless I seize. But because we're playing the only war rule, it states that Sharpy gets to choose who goes first.
And I'm going to go first.
So you're going to go first, right. And at this point, I can attempt to steal the initiative. And I have to roll a 6 to do that, and that means that I get to go first.
Yep.
And I roll a 5. So, at this point, we would then move on to Nurgle turn 1. Right, so Nurgle turn 1. Everybody has a set movement value, and if you want to advance, as the rules call it, or run basically,
yep,
you can roll a d6 and add that to the distance that you move. But if you do that, unless you have an assault weapon, you can't shoot.
That is totally fine. I'm going to advance with my drone.
Okay, so how far does the drone normally move?
10.
10 plus d6.
Yep.
So it gets to go 15. So if Sharpy passes that dice, we'll do the movements in a few moments, just for ease of the camera. Now, these guys.
Foxwalkers have 4-inch movement.
So 4-inch move plus a d6.
I'm going to run with them, which is probably going to be the best.
Do they have shooting weapons?
No, they don't, so it's probably the best.
Probably the best then. So how far do they get to go?
6.
Wow!
Here we go. Here's all the ones.
Right, so we'll do those movements and then come back with the next couple. So, rest of the movement phase, Sharpy has moved these guys forward, so he is going to control this one at the end of the first turn to score him a victory point. These guys are going to push forward. The movements are 5 for the Plague Marines and the... Oh, what's the guy called?
Noxious Blightbringer.
Yeah, so those guys are going to push forward 5 inches, which means that Sharpy is going to be within range to target these guys. He thought about advancing, because if he advanced, he wouldn't be able to shoot, but he'd be further up the field. But then obviously didn't want the retaliation of me. So interestingly enough, Sharpy is staying to the shadows over here with these guys. But he is within 3 inches of the objective. And then he's going forward as well. Oh, he's going sideways. Now, these guys, again, because they're entirely in cover, would get a +1 save. The way we normally house rule cover is going from corner to corner of the ruins, and we would count that as being in cover. But we've still got this guy around here.
Yeah.
And where is he going?
This guy is going to advance.
He is going to advance.
He is going to advance.
So movement plus d6.
It's 5 again.
So 5.
Yep.
Plus his run value of 4. So he's going to get the movement.
Because he's been 7 to be noxious, he gets 2.
He does, and pick the highest.
Yes,
Of course you're going to run the 4. So he's going to get to go 9 inches forward. And then he's going to be able to do some psychic shenanigans. But as he's moving him forward, we come to the end of the movement phase. Which means if you do have something set up off the board, Sharpy,
yeah,
you can choose to bring it in. But if you do, you cannot place it within 9 inches of any of my enemy models.
I think I'm going to wait for now.
So he's not coming in just yet. Right, so let's move on to the psychic phase. So, moving into the psychic phase, Sharpy has this guy who is a psychic. Now, psychic works a lot easier than 7th edition. So, you normally pick your psychic powers at the start of the battles. Sharpy did pick Miasma of Pestilence and Gift of Contagions. One's a buff, one's a debuff. And the way it works is it has a casting value. And you roll 2 dice, and if you're equal to or better than that value, then the power goes off. All psychics also know Smite. And this guy can cast 2 per turn.
Yes.
So, which power are we going for first?
We're going to do Gift of Contagion.
Okay, and what warp charge is it?
Is Warp Charge 7.
Warp charge 7. And who are you targeting with it?
I'm going to target the squad straight in front.
What, the Hellblasters?
Yes.
Now this is a debuff, so Sharpie needs to roll 7 on 2 dice. Which he does, amazingly. And I can't stop because I don't have any psychers. Now, this debuffs my unit, so for this we need to roll on a D3 table, yeah?
Yep. Which is...
a 2, which is -1 strength. So the Hellblasters are now at -1 strength.
Yep.
That's alright. And then next up you said you were going to do Miasma of Pestilence.
Which is going to do on himself.
Ah, that's why.
Yes.
Because normally you can't shoot characters if there is another unit in front of them. And I just pointed out to Sharpie that this guy is further up the field. Which means he can be shot because he's the closest model. So this is what he's going to try and do to try and help him out a little bit. So what's the value of this?
6.
So 6 on 2 dice. He fails it, but we have 3 command points, so you can re-roll the 1. Do you want a different dice though?
No, we're going to take it anyway.
Oh, I saw the 1 that rolled over to a 2.
Nice.
So it does go off. So he's now at -1 to hit him, and that's for combat and shooting.
Yep, from all hit rolls to target that unit.
Yep. And with that, that is the psychic phase. So shooting phase, we've only got these to do. Let's see what they can do. Right, so in the shooting phase, you select a unit to shoot, and you nominate which weapons are shooting at which units. Now you can split fire, so if I had a unit here and another one here, Sharpie could shoot the plasma gun into here and all the bolt guns into them. As it happens in this instance though, these guys can only see that squad of intercessors there. So Sharpie has 6 bolt gun shots and 1 plasma gun shot because the maximum range on these is 24. But it's rapid fire 1, which meant if he was within half the range, 12, he would get 2 shots. As it stands though, it's just a single shot each. So, at the Marines. Now, Plague Marines hit on a 3.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. This is where it starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sharpie is notoriously bad at dice rolling.
Yep.
But at least your plasma hit.
Yeah.
And I should have asked, sorry, are you overcharging the plasma?
I'm really not, no, there's no...
No! Fair enough. You kill a Marine though, because there are 2 wounds.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Go on then. Cool. Right. So, the bolt guns are strength 4. My Marines are toughness 4, which means you wound me on 4s. Right. Because it's the same.
Yeah.
But the plasma is strength 7.
Right. I'm
toughness 4. Your strength is higher than my toughness.
Yep.
So you wound me on 3s.
Yeah.
If it was strength 8, which it is now that you've overcharged it, 2s. In fact, Chaos Plasma Guns can't be overcharged. Or does it say in the rules?
No, there, strength damage. If you do so, increase the strength damage by 1 this turn. If you roll a 1 for anyone firing supercharged, the firing was slain as the weapon explodes. Right,
this is where I went wrong in the last battle report, because it says in the rules here, whereas in the index it has another profile straight underneath it. So I didn't think it could be overcharged. So, this is strength 8.
Yeah.
I'm toughness 4. You double, so that 1 wounds me on 2s.
Cool. So 3 and 2 for the round.
So that's 1 wound. The AP of a bolt gun is 0. Right. So I'll get me full 3 up armour.
Yep.
Right. Then the plasma gun is -3, or is it -4 when it's overcharged?
Damage by 1, yes, it's -4.
So it's -4. Now, because I have a 3 up armour, you cut straight through it,
yep.
And it does do 2 damage.
Right.
So actually, we should have done these separately, because that's a failed save still, but we should have worked out the damage 1 at a time.
Right.
Because that could kill a Marine, and then that wound the next one.
Right.
Or, the way I've done it now, is that would wound him, the 2 damage would then kill the Marine, but the extra damage wouldn't spill over.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, I take that one first. So the single wound goes on first, and then this one kills the Marine, doing 2 damage.
Cool.
So that is 1 Space Marine casualty. Now I get to pick it. It doesn't have to be the closest model anymore, Sharpie.
Which is nice.
But yeah, it's very nice. So I can literally just take it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie him down for the purposes of Battle Shock. Not Battle Shock, morale. Battle Shock the Sigmar. And with that, I believe that is probably your turn. Which means you control this objective,
right.
and you control this one. So you score 2 points. Now, this is where leadership now comes into account. So I've lost 1 Marine plus D6, which is a 5. I add the 1 Marine, becomes a 6, and I take away my leadership of 8. Gets me down to 0, so no more models run away. Interestingly enough, Space Marines have and they shall know no fear, which means if I did, for example, if you'd killed 2 Marines and I'd rolled a 6, if another one had ran, because I'm a Space Marine, I can re-roll it. So in this case, I don't need to. Okay, and with that, that is Sharpy's first turn over. So it now moves over to my turn. So, at this point, I can do all of my movement. None of my guys are going to advance. So I'll move them all up. Most of the Marines have about a 6-inch move, so I'll push them all forward and come back very shortly. Right, so movement phase. Everybody has moved. If you go up the rocks or any terrain, you count the physical inches up. So although he's got a 6-inch move, I've counted 2 and a bit up, and then the remainder straight forward. So these guys have all pushed forward. These guys are hopefully going to shoot into some Plague Marines. They're going to be on a 2-up save in the cover, but we'll see what happens. And these Marines have come around this side, and of course the Interceptors have landed and are going to be shooting here. Now with reserves, you can place them anywhere on the board 9 inches away from an enemy unit. So basically these guys are 9 inches away from him. I don't have any Psychers in the army, so this is really cool and easy. So what we're going to do is these guys are going to now shoot into your guy that's up there, whose name I don't know.
Malignant Plague Caster.
The Malignant Plague Caster. Now, these guys have rapid fire weapons, right? Which means that if they're within half range, I can rapid fire. And conveniently, all of them are within 15 inches. And all of them, I don't know if I agree with this, but if you can see any part of the model, you can shoot it. Yeah. Now, it did come up in a game where me and Phil played, where basically I was behind some ruins, and you could see the top of my vehicle. Yeah. But I didn't get the cover save because I'm not in. So, I almost want to overcharge, but he's got the -1 to hit on him. So if I roll a 1 or a 2, because a 2 minus 1 is a 1. But I get re-rolls because of my captain. But I can only re-roll 1s.
Okay.
So I'm going to overcharge anyway.
Right.
So I re-roll the 1 because I'm within 6 inches of the captain. So there's a 2 and a 1. Now, interestingly though, would that be on one guy or would that be 2 separate guys? Because it doesn't tell you the order to do that. It just says a model is slain. Let's say there is 2 though. So they miss and obviously kill them. Now, I am strength 8. What's his toughness?
5.
Right, so I'm wounding on 3s because my strength is higher than your toughness. So that is a grand total of 7 wounds. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because although Sharpy has do you have a save?
I do, 3+.
Which -4 because overcharged is no save.
Yep.
Do you have an invulnerable save?
I do not, other than be disgusted and resilient.
Okay, so the way it works is obviously the overcharged plasma is -4, which actually you'd be a +1 because you're in cover.
Yep.
So he's on a 2+, dropped down now to a 6-up. So Sharpy needs to roll 7 6-ups. Yep. So this is his armor save. It doesn't pass any. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Because you have the rule Disgust and Resilience, you can ignore any damage on the roll of a 6, is it? Or a 5 or a 6?
A 5 or a 6.
Okay. Each of those 7 wounds does 2 damage.
Right.
So you have to roll 14, or you can roll that twice.
Yeah, that's right.
Roll the 7 twice. Now you ignore the damage on a 5 or more. So you ignore 3, so you've took 4 wounds so far. But you need to ignore another 7.
How many wounds has he got? He's only got 4 wounds anyway.
He's only got 4.
Oh, no, he's dead.
Which means he's dead. Oh, man. Not so good. But, do you want to know something good?
Yep.
I'll lose 2 guys.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, because I'm within 6 inches of the lieutenant, I can re-roll to wounds of a 1, but I didn't have any. Now, this guy allows a unit to do something if a model is killed nearby, but I've slain myself, so I don't know whether or not this counts. I'm going to double check it. So yep, double checking the Primaris Ancients rules. On the roll of a 4+, those two models could do something else. However, they can't see anyone. So yeah. Next up then is we're going to have these guys now shoot into the Plague Marines here. Now it doesn't matter if you can't see the models, Sharpy, for purposes. As long as I can see one model in the unit, I can shoot the entire squad at that. And you can remove casualties that I can't see. So if you want to leave your plasma gun there, that's absolutely fine. Even though he's at the front, which previously he'd be the first one to go. Whereas now he's not. Sharpy can actually remove them from the back. So the bolt rifles should be within rapid fire range. We'll have to double check. So unfortunately the bolt rifles aren't in rapid fire range. But what I'm going to do is we're going to shoot these 5 guys. And I'm going to get to reroll 1s to hit because of the Gravis Captain. And I'm going to get to reroll 1s to wound because of the Lieutenant at the Plague Marines. So that's 1 miss. These hit on 3s. I'm strength 4, but you're toughness 5, I believe, for the Plague Marines.
For the Plague Marines, yes, toughness 5.
Which means I wound on 5s. That's only 1, but I can reroll this. So that's only a single wound. Now, because you're in cover, you increase your save by 1 to 2+. But my bolt rifle has AP -1. So you back down to a 3+, which he passes. We're then going to have the 2 bolt rifles from the Lieutenant and the Primaris Ancient up here. And reroll the 1 to hit because of the Captain. So they hit, needing 5s. So no wounds there, and the reason I need 5s is because my strength of the gun is lower than your toughness. So over this side though, this is going to get tasty here. So these guys can see through the window and through this window at this drone. But your drone is going to get you +1 save. So I hit on 3s unless it has something that makes it harder to hit.
It does not, but it does have an invulnerable.
Okay, so that's 5 hits. Toughness of the drone, please.
Is toughness 7.
Wow, so because my strength is only 4 and Sharpy's toughness is 7, his toughness is higher than my strength. I need 5s to wound him. And amazingly, that is 2 wounds. Now, what's his normal armor save?
His normal armor save is the 3+.
So you would be good, 2+ because you're in cover. But bolt rifles are -1.
So back 3.
Back down to a 3+ save. Pass 1, fail 1. But then you've got Disgust and Resilience.
Passed.
And that is a 2nd save that Death Guard and Nurgle get. So he tanks all of it. Next up though, these are pretty tasty. Let's see what the Interceptors can do. So this is an example where I'm going to show what split firing does. Now before you split fire, you have to nominate where each model in the unit that you're choosing to fire shoots. So what I'm going to do is have these 2 guys shoot at the drone, and this back guy is going to shoot at the Poxwalkers. So these assault bolters are range 15, and they get 3 shots each.
Wonderful.
And they are assault. So I can still fire them at -1 if I ran. But because I've just deployed, it counts as my movement. So these are the ones at the Poxwalkers. Amazingly, I get 2 hits. And what's the toughness of a Poxwalker?
Toughness 3.
Okay, so I do wound on 3s. It is -1.
Dead.
Do they have Disgust and Resilience? Because if they do, then you get, basically you get 2 5-up Disgust and Resiliences.
1 passed, 1 dead.
So, Sharpy doesn't have to take it from the front. He can take a model from the back if he wishes. There we go. So then what we're going to have is we're going to have the remaining 2 shoot into the Plague Drone. So that's 2 misses, 3 misses. I'm strength 5, your toughness 7. So I'm still wounding on 5s because his toughness is higher than my strength. So that is a fair roll. Wow. That's 6 wounds, Sharpy. So he's a +1 for being in cover. These are AP -1, so you're back down to your normal 3-up save. So 6 3-ups. Fails 2. And then 2 Disgust and Resilience. Wow! I think this is the best your dice have ever been.
I know, right?
And that is it for my turn because... Oh, no, it's not. We're going to have a charge. As it stands, though, I definitely have this one. And I definitely have this one. But I'm going to charge at this.
Okay.
You know what it does, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't then. You know
Sure?
what? No, I'm not going to charge, right? I'm sure, because I'd rather Overwatch against you.
Okay.
Okay, so I do score 2 points. Now at this point in Sigmar, if you've played Sigmar, you would dice off to see who goes next.
Yeah.
But it's 40k. So Sharpy goes next. So let's move into turn 2. But before we move into Sharpy's turn 4, he needs a morale check on these.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything for being in a unit of 20? Does it give you any buffs?
Yes, but nothing that's going to help you.
Right, so your leadership 4.
Yeah.
So D6.
Come on, ones.
A 5 plus the 1 model he lost means 6. Take away your leadership 4.
Yeah.
Leaves you with 2, which means 2 more guys run away.
Yeah. That's fine. Can do worse.
Right, so Sharpy has done his movement. The plague drone has come forward and it's looking to potentially take out them because Sharpy doesn't like them. And the Poxwalker's got a 6-inch run. Yay! So
normal movement.
yeah, you definitely have this flank of that objective. Meanwhile, end of the movement phase. Dun dun dun! This guy has turned up. Sharpy's hoping for a long bomb charge against some of these guys. The Plague Marines, meanwhile, have just shuffled around a little bit. So the guys on this side will get to fire, the one on their will, and one of them can't see through the building, but he's pulled one sideways, so they can see that entire squad. So, shooting phase, because you now have no psychic.
Yep.
Does this guy actually have a gun?
Yeah, he's actually got 2.
Oh, is it nasty?
It can be.
What does it do?
It's range 9 assault D6 weapon.
So it's a flamer.
Pretty much.
Does it auto hit?
Yes.
So it's a flamer, basically.
Yeah.
So D6, roll a dice and see how many shots you get with it. Oh, what?
You know what?
Are you going to command point it?
I'm going to command point this.
Don't use that one, don't use that one.
Yeah, that'll do.
3's better than 1.
Yeah.
So, strength of it.
Strength for me at the moment is 6.
Right, so is strength user unbelievably, which is at the minute 6.
Yep.
So you are wounding me on 3s. Now you can't use a command reroll now.
Nope, I don't need it.
That's 3 wounds. Does it have any AP?
Yeah, AP -1.
-1, so I'm dropped from a 3 up to a 4. So I take a wound. It is 1 damage?
Yeah, 1 damage.
1 damage, so that is it. We'll put a wound on one of the guys over there. Right. Is that all of his guns? Just the one?
Yeah. The other one's a melee weapon.
Okay, so next up we've got the Plague Marines. Where are you going with these guys? Are you going for the Intercessors? Or you've got the Hellblasters?
Yeah, we'll go for the guys up top.
You're going for the guys up there.
Yep.
Now, interestingly enough, we're not going to play the rocks as ruins because they're not ruins, so we're not going to give them the +1 save up there. But obviously in the ruins we will. So, we have 3, 4, 5 Plague Marines that can see, and then a plasma gun as well. I don't think you're in rapid fire range because you didn't advance, and I was more than 15 away previously. So you're just going to get the 1 shot per bolt gun,
yep.
And then 1 shot for the plasma gun.
So 3,
5 bolt guns, 1 plasma gun.
Yep.
So these guys hit on 3s. Are you overcharging the plasma?
I am going to overcharge it.
You're going to overcharge the plasma. Don't roll a 1 on that red dice then. You need another green dice. So 1 miss with the bolt guns. So these are needing 4s.
Yep.
This is now needing 2s, but
We'll do that.
we'll do this separately.
Yep.
So you're doing the bolters first.
Yep.
So, oh wow, 3 wounds. And that's 3 saves. And then needing a 2 because you're... There you go. Your strength 8 and toughness 4. So you're needing 2s. And it's AP -4 because he overcharged it, which kills 1 of the Marines. So So we'll lie him down for morale. But that's it for your shooting, isn't it?
Yes, that's everything for shooting.
So, combat. We're going to have some combats down here because I'm guessing the drone is going to charge.
Yep.
Now, at this point, this squad can now overwatch.
Yep.
What that means is I get to shoot at you as you come charging in. But because I'm panicking, I only hit you on 6s.
Okay.
But I do get to shoot with all my non-weapons. Now, this is 2 of the 3. Yep. So, amazingly, that's 3 hits. And then I've got the other guy to shoot as well. For nothing. Now, it's toughness 7. I'm strength 5, so I need 5s. That is 2 wounds, and it is -1. So he's 3 up armor, drops to a 4 up.
Nothing.
Which he fails. But you've got disgusting resilience.
Nothing.
So the drone actually takes 2 wounds going in. Now, at this point, now Sharpy is placed an inch away. You can't get within an inch unless you're in combat. But he then rolls 2 dice for the charge distance. So he only gets a 3. So basically, if he was 3.5 inches away, the rules have changed slightly now because you would have to make the full distance base to base.
Right.
Now you only have to get within an inch. So obviously Sharpy was just over an inch away. Oh look, he's now within an inch.
Right, okay.
So, what happens here is if there was multiple charges, you would get to attack with everybody that charged first.
Right.
So if your Plague Marines had charged these guys, you would do all of them.
Yeah.
Now there is some command points where you can interrupt the charges, there's some weapons that allow you to do it, but not in these forces.
Go.
So, because this guy charged first, he gets to attack.
Go.
So, let's work out what you can do in combat. Right, so Sharpy has lost 2 wounds on the drone. Now the drone does degrade, so the more damage it takes, the less effective it becomes. So it has 3 attacks whilst it's not lost too many wounds, doesn't it?
Yep.
So weapon skill, what is the weapon skill of it?
The weapon skill is 4+.
Okay, so hitting on 4s. Wow, they all hit. Strength 6 at the moment as well.
Yep.
So you wound me on 3s because your strength is higher than my toughness 4. Now, you can use another command reroll if you really wanted to.
No, I'm keeping that.
Okay. So, that's 1 save. Does it have any AP value?
Yes, mine's 2.
Oh, so that's a 5 up save I need, which I pass. Now, interestingly enough, it does do D3 damage, doesn't it?
Yep.
However, even if I'd failed that, and Sharpy had rolled a 3, because I've got a guy on 1 wound, it would kill the guy on 1 wound, and the rest of the wounds would not spill over, even though he'd done 3 damage. We've also got another charge going on down here. So the Lord of Contagion is going to be charging, but where is he charging, Sharpy?
He is charging probably into the banner guys, closest guy.
Into him?
Yep.
Cool, so you're going to need a 9. 10, and he makes it. So you only have to get within an inch. So even though he makes it to there, he's within an inch.
Yep.
So let's move on to combat. Right, now at this point, if I really wanted to, I could use 2 command points and interrupt Sharpy's charges and have this guy attack the Lord of Contagion. Because this is an intro game and we're talking through everything that can happen, we're basically going to show that all the units that charge get to go first. So, what does the Lord of Contagion do in combat?
Melee weapon only.
Right, so how many attacks does he have?
He has 4 attacks.
Okay, so 4 attacks. Weapon skill?
Weapon skill 2+.
Oh, oof. So hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s.
Oh, what? What's the strength of his weapon?
I'm going to use a command point to reroll that one.
You can't.
Can you not? I thought you could reroll it.
You've already used a reroll.
Oh, yeah, I did this turn, didn't I?
You did. You can only use 1 reroll per phase.
Right.
So you could do 1 in the shooting phase and do 1 in the... In fact, you haven't used 1. Did you use 1 in the combat down here?
I didn't use it in the melee, used it in the shooting.
In that case, yes, you can re-roll 1.
Yep.
So this is Sharpy's last command re-roll, so he does hit. So now he's got no command points left, but this might be worth it.
Yep.
What's the strength of his weapon?
The strength of his weapon is a user, so... Is it user? No, strength, 2+.
So +2 to the user strength.
Yeah. So that will be 6.
Okay, so you wounded me on 3s. So that's 2 wounds And what is the AP value?
-3.
-3?
Yeah.
2 6-ups. Nope, and I fail them. What is the damage?
3 wounds each.
3 wounds each, which does 6 wounds altogether.
Yeah. Good.
Which kills him. Which means that if someone else dies, in fact, I forgot to roll for him.
Yeah.
So, if it's okay?
Yeah.
So on a 4+, he would get the fire. No. So, that kills him. Now, I would now get to attack back. So I'm going to go with these guys here. So the sergeant has 3 attacks, and the other 2 guys have 2 attacks each. I hit on 3s against the drone, unless it has a rule that says I'm at minus something to hit it, am I?
Nope.
Okay. And I'm strength 4. So because he is toughness 7, I wounded him on 5s. For 1. So 1 normal, 3 up armor save.
It's 5.
Cool. So, the only thing that we would then do is morale checks. This squad here would have to take 1, but because of the leadership 8 and I've lost 1,
yep.
I can't fail it. So we'll move into Space Marines, turn 2. Right, so at the end of that turn 2 for the Death Guard, Sharpy scores this objective and this one for another 2 points, putting him on 4 to my 2. But he's going to be pushing forward unless I deal with stuff and fast. So, let's move into Space Marines, turn 2. Right, so moving phase for the Space Marines. The Hellblasters have moved round. They can see him conveniently through the window, but he has a fort invulnerable. The captain, of course, has turned round, as has the lieutenant with the power sword. Meanwhile, this lieutenant and the Primaris Marines intercessors have pushed forward. They're now within rapid fire range of these guys. Now, something that can now happen is my interceptors can retreat from combat. Now, normally if you retreat, you can't do anything. Can't shoot, can't charge, can't run, can't do anything else. But they have fly because of jump packs, which means they can still shoot, they just can't charge again. So, for the shooting phase, those guys are going into the drone. With all of these. That is a lot of misses. Not as bad as your dice rolling though.
No, but that's to be expected.
So I was hitting on 3s with them. I'm now wounding on 5s because your toughness is higher than my strength. Nice. 7 wounds. So it is -1, so 7 4-ups, Sharpy. Do you want to roll that one that you dropped? So that's 4 wounds, but then you've got disgusting resilience on them.
Yep.
So you've got 4 5-ups to make. Makes 1, so he's now lost 5 wounds and he's down to 5 remaining.
Yep.
So, as a result of that, these guys are going to rapid fire into him as well. So 8 bolt shots, and the reason I've got 8, that's 9, is because I'm within half range, so I got 2 shots now. So no re-rolls on these guys, unfortunately. Needing 5s because your toughness is higher than your strength, and that is just 1 more at -1. Which he fails. Disgusting resilience, which he passes. Next up, we're going to have these guys here shoot into the Plague Marines. So this one is just within 6 of the captain, so I can re-roll 1s to hit, thankfully. So, and then I'm wounding you on 5s because you're toughness 5. Re-rolling 1s because of the lieutenant. So I'll get 1 wound. It is at -1, but you're at +1 because you're in cover, so it cancels out for a 3+ save.
Nope.
Disgusting resilience, 5+. Nope. No, so 1 plague marine. Have they got 2 wounds each now?
That's a good question.
Or are they just 1? Because if they're just 1, I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, base plague marine is 1 wound, but
so
I'm going to put 1 on the champion instead. So
you do realise if you have to keep allocating wounds to him.
Yes.
So he would die first.
Yes.
Okay. So, bolt rifle from the lieutenant. 2 hits. 2 wounds. 2 3-ups. So your lieutenant.
Disgusting resilient.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, so your lieutenant does go bye-bye.
It's fine.
Then.
It's all close combat weapons.
then. So I'm going to do this at the same time here, because it's not going to make that, in fact, yeah, let's rapid fire those Hellblasters straight into them, and I'm going to overcharge. Okay. Because I need to do the extra damage. So I'm hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. So there's 3 2s there. I'm guessing he's probably toughness 5 or 6.
Toughness 5.
5, so 3s to wound because I'm strength 8. And that is 3 wounds. Now it is -4. Even with your +1 recover, your invuln is still better. So 3 saves, 4 plus invulnerable.
2 saves.
But then that one that goes through does 2 damage, so 2 disgusting resilience. Pass 1, fail 1. So he takes 1 wound altogether. How many has he got base? Like 6?
For his wounds, yeah, 6 wounds.
So he's down to 5. Next up, we're going to have the bolt pistol from the gauntlet on him, yep. Plus the bolt pistol from the lieutenant. Yep. They all hit, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds, no AP.
2+.
Oh, what? 5+.
Nope.
That's a 4. So he takes another wound. He's dropped to 4. And that is almost my turn. Almost. But now I'm going to charge.
Yep.
So both of these are going to charge.
Yep.
So do you have any Overwatch?
No, I'm on melee.
Okay, so Captain would charge 10 inches. Now we're just going to leave them there for the purpose of easiness. Really didn't think about when I put that rock there, did I?
Yeah.
And then the Lieutenant, 5 inches, he's in. So, because we've got, well, I was going to say because we've got things in combat over here, but we don't. Anyway, the Gravis Armor Captain is going to go first, and I'm going to swing with the Gauntlet. Okay. Right? So I hit on 3s, because it's -1 to hit. Right. Because basically it's a power fist. Yeah. It is strength 8. Your toughness 5. Yes. So I'm wounding you on 3s. Cool. Reroll the 1s because of the Lieutenant. Yep. I am strength 8, so I needed 3s, which is 1. It's -3, so it's going to drop you to your invuln.
Cool. So 1,
4 plus.
Passed.
Oh, never. And then, because I made the charges here, this Lieutenant now gets to swing as well. Yep. So he has 4 attacks. He's weapon skill 2 plus. Reroll 1s because of the Captain. I'm only strength 4, so I need 5s. And I get nothing. Which means you now get to swing back. Now, if you want to, you can split your attacks. So how many attacks does he have base again? 4? Yep. So you could go 3 at the Captain, 1 at the Lieutenant. You can go all at the Captain. The Captain has a 4 invulnerable. Right. The Lieutenant doesn't.
Right. Which is your reroll 1 guy?
That's the reroll 1s to hit. This is the reroll 1s to wound. Right,
okay. What we'll do is we'll go all of them at the big guy at the back.
So the Captain, yeah? So 2 plus to hit in combat. And the axe isn't -1 to hit, is it? Nope. That's nuts. So all hit. Strength?
Strength 6.
Okay, so you wounded me on 3s because I'm toughness 5 in a Gravis armor.
All hit.
Ouch! So, I now take me 4 invulnerables. Yep. I think I've used 1 command reroll. So I'm going to reroll 1 of these. Yep. So I passed 2. I failed 2.
6 wounds.
3 damage each?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I should have asked before I did the reroll, but never mind. Yeah. So I actually control this objective, yep, because I've got more models here, and I control this one, yep, which means I'll get another 2 points. So it's still 4-4 at the end of that turn. But morale check for these. What is their standard leadership?
Their standard leadership. Let me just switch it. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference against enemy leadership. Leadership is 7.
So you would auto pass because even if you roll a 6, yep, you would pass. So let's move it into Death Guard turn 3. So the Lord of Contagion has Nurgle's gift at the start of the Death Guard turn. On a 4 plus, any models within 1 inch, yep, take a mortal wound. So does he take a mortal wound? Yep. No, he doesn't. Right, let's move into the movement phase. Right, so here we go, start of the Death Guard turn. Sharpy has moved all the Marines forward ever so slightly, so they're now within rapid fire range of these guys, and he's also got the plasma pistol from the guy with the bell, and I think you were talking about making a charge against these if you can.
It's going to do something.
Right, so, shooting phase. I forgot to mention actually, this guy came forward, so flamer on these guys.
Yep.
So D6 shots you get. 4 shots.
Yep.
Strength user, so you're on 5 wounds, so your strength degrades at this point, doesn't it?
It does. So I'm on 5 wounds, strength 5.
So you're still wounding me on 3s. 2 wounds. -1, was it?
Yeah, -1 AP.
Pass them both.
Nice.
So next up we're going to have the Plague Marines. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within rapid fire range. But you said you wanted to throw a grenade. I think crack grenade's only range 8 though.
No, I've also got a blight grenade which is within 6.
Unfortunately that is out. So 10 bolter shots.
Yep.
And 2 plasma shots.
1 was 7.
So reds are the plasmas. And we forgot to mention, are you overcharging? Yeah. There's no reason not to.
No, not with these guys.
Not when you can kill the Primaris Marines with 1 shot. So hitting on 3s, so only a couple of misses there.
Yep.
And then 1 of the plasma as well. And then the greens are going to be wounding the Primaris Marines on 4s, but the red will be wounded on 2s, and you're keeping that one to last, yeah?
Yep.
You missed 1.
Yes.
So 4s, so 3, 4 wounds, 3 plus. Oh my word, that kills 1. And then the plasma, needing a 2,
yep.
kills another 1. So that leaves 2 Marines left. What's shooting next? You've got the plasma pistol from that contagion, whatever it is,
Yeah,
bell guy.
Yep.
Now you don't have to shoot what you want to charge. So if you do want to charge, you can actually charge something else. So, well, you can't shoot the lieutenant, so you have to shoot the Marines. Are you going for him?
Yeah.
Okay. So hitting on 2s is it for him, or 3s?
Strength 7.
His ballistic skill.
Oh, his ballistic skill is 3+.
So hitting on 3s.
Yep, 2 shots.
Plasma pistol's just the 1 shot.
Yep.
And he hits. Strength 7 and toughness 4. So you're needing 3s.
Yep.
And that's a wound. And it's -3 AP. So
Yep.
6 up.
Okay.
Right. Charges. I'm guessing this guy's charging again.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got a hell...
Oh, you did the flames over there, didn't we? Didn't do anything.
Yeah, we did. So, yeah. If, I'm going to steal 1 more dice, actually. All of these guys now get to shoot into the Blight drone again.
Yep.
It's not even a Blight drone, it's a something else drone.
It might as well be.
Yeah.
The fetid blight drone.
Well, oh, so bloat drone.
Just to make it all good.
So hitting on 6s there, and then wounded on 5s because I'm strength 5,
Yep.
and your toughness 7. So that's 1 wound at -1, which he makes.
Yep.
And then the charge distance is 2d6.
2d6, yep.
Yep. So a double 1, and interestingly enough, because he is so close,
Yep.
he actually makes it to within an inch. So it still counts.
Yep.
Meanwhile, over here, are you charging with any of them?
Yeah, big guy at the front.
Okay, and who is he charging?
The lone Space Marine sitting right down at the front.
Well, technically there's 2 because the sergeant's on the top of the rock next to him.
We'll go in against...
No, I'm saying it is a unit of 2.
Right. That's fine.
Or do you want to charge the lieutenant? Because it is a longer charge.
Yeah, we'll do the lieutenant one.
You're going for the lieutenant.
We'll go for the lieutenant.
Okay. Don't get any hits on Overwatch. Let's see if he makes it.
1, isn't it? 2.
2 dice for charging.
Yep.
Oh, no!
That'll do.
Do you want to charge your Nurgle Marines at the remaining 2 Marines?
Yes.
You do. Right, so I'll get 4 shots with Overwatch for them. I get 2 hits. And I get 1 wound. Hitting on 6s, wounding on 5s, because Nurgle. So it's -1.
Yep.
So you've got 4 save,
Don't pass.
followed by Disgusting Resilience,
Don't pass.
which you fail. So one of these guys dies. I'm just going to take that one.
Yep.
And then the charge distance.
Yep, so 2d6. That'll do.
Oh, good God. Right, so Sharpy's going to go with the bloat drone first. He's only got 2 attacks now. Hits on 4s. 1 hit. Strength 5, so you're winning me on 3s.
Yep. That's a hit.
And AP -1?
It is AP -2.
-2, 5 up.
Oh, they die.
I'm making me saves, what can I say? Right, let's move over to here. I bet you wish I hadn't killed your champion off now.
I know, alright.
So how many attacks do Plague Marines have each?
1.
Just the 1? Do you get an extra attack because of the Plague Knife?
No, but I can reroll 1s.
Is that to hit and wound or just wound?
Just to hit.
So next up is the Plague Marines that charge. So Sharpy has 5 attacks, just 1 each, hitting on 3s. So that's 4 hits. Yep. And then he's wounding on 4s because he's strength 4 and toughness 4. But the Plague Knife lets you reroll 1s.
Yep.
So 2 wounds.
Yep. 3
up. I take a wound. So we'll put a wound on that guy in there. Next up though is the guy on the top who's going to be fighting the lieutenant. Yes. So how many attacks does he have?
He has 3 attacks.
So 3 attacks, weapon skill.
3+.
3+, and strength.
Is 4.
Right, so 3s, did you say?
Yep.
So 2 hits. Strength 4.
Yep.
So you wounded me on 4s. 2 wounds, and then I've got me 3 up armor.
Yep.
Which I pass. So that was all of the charging units for Sharpy, which means that he now gets to attack with his first unit that was locked in combat before we would start alternating. But he's only got the 1. So the...
Lord of Contagion.
That's the one. I don't know this Nurgle stuff. It's all rotten and brainy. And so I think he had 4 attacks, was it?
Yeah, 4 attacks all going against the one guy.
Yeah, hitting on 4s. 4s? 2s?
Yep.
So that's all hit. Strength 6. So wounding me on 3s because I'm toughness 4.
All hit.
And what's the AP?
Is -3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
He is.
I don't like him. Wow. So then I get to attack. So I'm going to go with the Primaris Marines here. Now, after I've attacked, you would then pick someone else. But because you've got nobody else, I can basically just work out the rest of my combats. Yep. So these 2 guys, he's going to pile in down to there. So I hit on 3s. I'm strength 4, you're toughness 5.
Yep.
Wow, I get 2 wounds. No AP though, so just straight 2 3 up armor saves.
Yep.
Fine. The lieutenant down here, he has 4 attacks. So, is he 2+? Yeah, he's weapon skill 2+. I'm then wounding you on 5s. Nice! 3 wounds.
Against which one? The big guy?
Against the big guy. Is he a Terminator? Or is he just a 3+ armor save?
He is just a 3+ armor save.
Okay, so 3 ups.
Pass.
Makes them all. Wow. Next, we're going to go down here with these guys. So, pile in. So what happens is when you activate a unit, they pile in towards the nearest model up to 3 inches, and as long as they end closer, that's fine. So obviously, there we go. So, I hit you on 3s. And I wound you on 5s, because you're toughness 7 and I'm only strength 4. That is 2 wounds. Yep. Come on, 3+ armor save. You can fail this, come on. Oh, why?
Nope.
And that is it.
Yep.
Now, interestingly, you did move off this objective.
Yes.
But it was worth it to try and take these out, I feel.
Yep. Also, lost the guy, so I need to take a leadership.
You do, but your leadership's 7. So even if you roll a 6, you're fine. So, not good. You do score 2 more victory points. Oh, one more victory point for controlling that objective down there. So, let's move into the next Space Marine turn. So, morale check on my guys. So, I lost 2, and Sharpy gives me a -1. So, I'm at leadership 8. So, 3 + 2 is 5. Leadership 8, so I'm absolutely fine. Right, so movement. We've retreated out of combat with these guys. Now, these guys can't do anything now. But the ones that were in the ruins have now come bursting through the walls and are going to shoot at these. And of course, the Hellblaster's again going to target straight through the ruins. He needs to die. He's horrible. And the Interceptors have fell back out of combat. They can still shoot because they have fly. But I'm going to try and kill a lot of them. Because they're only leadership 4. So, I'm going to start. I should have measured this a little bit different. Now, this is tactics talking here, Sharpy. What I maybe should have done was jump to here. So that I was within range to take them out as well. And then just pour the spare shots into the Poxwalkers rather than that. But that is going to hopefully get me an objective or two. Well, a victory point. So, these guys are now going to rapid fire into the Plague Marines. And I can rapid fire and get an extra shot because I'm within half range. So, at the Plague Marines here, ballistic skill 3+. That's not great, but it's okay. Wounding you on 5s because the toughness 5, the Plague Marines, aren't they? Yep. So just 1 at -1. So 4+, nope. Followed by 5+. Nope. No, so I'll kill 1 more Marine. And Sharpy gets to choose which one. Not the Plasma Gunner, obviously. So, down here, the Marines on the other side, and you haven't seen them very much because they're being basically back there. Now, unbelievably, Sharpy, I am not going to be charging you when it comes to the assault phase.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
I mean, I don't mind.
So, I think what I'll...
All about the sharing.
No. What, sharing the plague?
Yeah.
No. So, I'm going to overcharge the plasmas.
Yep.
Oh!
Well, goodbye, squad.
Oh. So, the 2 misses, but then these are wounded on 3s. Oh. Am I still within 6 inches of the lieutenant? I am not. I don't get that reroll. So that's 2 wounds. Yep. So 4 invulnerable.
Yep.
And then 2 disgusting resilience because it does 2 damage. It passes 1, fails 1, drops him to 3 wounds.
That's fine.
So, do you know what? I've lost 2. Unless I charge here, you're probably going to kill us anyway. So I feel like I'm not going to kill you. There's no chance I'm going to get to kill him. At all. And in fact, is he within 3? Because you have to be within 3 inches of the objective. I'm going to say he's not within the centre. So what I'm going to do is actually leave that guy alive.
That's fine. So
that I can score the objective because he's not within 3.
Nope.
Which means I'm not going to charge because I need that objective to score points to pull ahead. Yep. So, next thing we've got these guys down here. These are going to fire at the Poxwalkers.
This is going to hurt.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is going to hurt. So, I have all the dice.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s because I'm ballistic skill 3+. Toughness 3 or 4. I'm strength 5 anyway.
Yeah, it's not very high at all.
So I'm wounding you on 3s regardless because I'm higher. Yeah. Now, the art -1.
Yep.
You have a 7+ save, which means you have an 8+.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
But you're a +1 because you're in cover, which means a 7+, which you can't roll.
Yeah, so that's 2 4s.
So what's that? 6, 10, 11 dead. Why didn't I go for these before?
I don't know. I was wondering that. I didn't exactly mention it.
Yeah. And then the only combat that we're going to have, because those guys can't charge because they fell back, is basically the lieutenant down here is going to hit your plague guy. So he actually hits because he's 2+, strength 4, and I'll get 1 wound. So just a single wound on this guy up here. So he had a 3-up save, yeah? So 3+ followed by a 5+. Fine. And that is it for my turn. So I score this one and I score this one. But before we determine if we score this one, how many was it 11 I killed there?
11, yeah.
So
I don't even think I can roll.
Well,
so it's basically just how many units am I going to roll.
So hang on, so you're 11, you're leadership 4, which means at least another 7's going to die. Which there's only 6 there.
So it's wiped the whole squad.
So the whole squad's wiped.
Yep.
which means I score that one as well.
Yep.
So unbelievably, I actually score 3 victory points then. Puts me at a total of 7 to Sharpy's 5. Let's move into Death Guard turn 4. Right, so Death Guard turn 4. The Lord of Contagion has gone through the window, clambering out. Well, probably smashed through the ruins, didn't he?
Probably.
Probably. And he's going to take out the Hellblaster, and as long as Sharpy kills him, it means he scores that objective. Up here, the Lieutenant is fighting the Rotbringer. Please tell me it's a Rotbringer.
No, it's not.
It's not a Rotbringer. Oh.
Blightbringer.
Blightbringer. I was close. The Marines here, meanwhile, have pushed this way, and what they're going to do is they're going to fire into these two in the hopes of killing them, and then charge these with support from the drone. So, yeah, shooting first. Now, Sharpy probably wants to do all of his bolt guns here. Now, the order of fire is important because obviously if he fired the plasma at him, the extra damage would be wasted if he overcharged it.
Yeah.
So you probably want to do the 6 bolt guns first. And the plasma at them. Now you have to nominate all of your targets before you roll any dice. So you can't just shoot the bolters and think, alright, I've killed them, now I'll shoot the plasma at these.
Yeah.
So, let's do the bolt guns first. So if you're rapid firing, that's 6 shots total from the bolt guns. Hitting on 3s. That's fair, that's fair. So then you're wounding me on 4s because you're strength 4, I'm toughness 4. That's 3. So that kills the Marine that's on 1 wound.
Yep.
Now, this is where, obviously, the order is important, because if you overcharge your plasma, you're going to kill us if you get a wound, but you've got 2 shots because you're within rapid fire range.
Overcharge plasma?
So he hits with 1. Now, because you're strength 8, I'm toughness 4, you only need a 2.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. It's minus 4 AP, which means I've got no armor save, and it's 2 damage, which kills him. So overcharging is worth it. Especially against Marines.
Yeah, and with Disgusting Resilience.
With Disgusting Resilience, yep, definitely. And then you've got the Flamer with this guy.
It's auto hit.
So it's auto hit, but it's D6 hits. So D6 hits.
Yep.
Oh, what? Strength user, so strength 5?
Yes.
Because you're damaged?
Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Here's all the ones.
Right, now. Who's charging first? Because they've basically, who do you want to soak up the Overwatch?
We're going to get drone to go in first.
The drone's going first?
Yep. Okay.
So 6s to hit on Overwatch. 1 hit, needing 5s. 1 wound at minus 1, so 1 4 up.
Fast.
And he makes a charge distance. Double 1. Oh, he might not make it. Your rolling for your charges has been horrendous, Sharpy.
It really has.
So, as you can see there, he is 2.5 inches away. Now, in old 40k, that would fail. But because you only have to be within an inch, we'll put him there. He's on 5 wounds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right, these guys. Now, because something that hasn't come up yet, actually, which is, again, is new. If he had failed the charge, and then you elect to charge these can overwatch again. Yeah. Because they didn't get charged. They didn't.
Not caught up in combat.
Not caught in combat, yeah. So charge distance for these probably needing a 4, and of course a 10 will make it straight in. So Sharpy's going to get to attack with everybody that charged first. Oh no, you've got 1 more to go.
Oh yeah.
Come on, kill yourself. No. It would have been so funny if it actually killed myself. As
I would have been very disappointed.
You're going to be in because even if you roll a double 1. So everybody you charge gets to go first.
Cool.
You're going to kill us here first.
Yeah.
4 attacks, looking for 2s, and then 3s. Oh yeah. Right, Plague Drone, down to 2 attacks I believe.
Yes, 2 attacks.
So hitting on 4s.
Nothing.
And then the Plague Marines, you've got 4, so that's 4 attacks with them. And they hit on 3s in combat. 3 hits. And then you're wounding on 4, 4s. Rerolling 1s. And so just the 1 wound.
Yep.
The reason he's wounding on 4s is because it's strength 4. And I fail, so I put a wound on someone. Right, so that's all the charges. Then the first activation is this guy.
Yeah.
So I think it was 3 attacks.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s. 2 hits, and then was just strength 4, wasn't he?
Yep.
So 4s, 2 wounds. So I fail a wound, fail a save. So the lieutenant is down to 4 wounds. So then I get to attack back. I'm going to go with the lieutenant. Lieutenant has 4 attacks. So they all hit because I'm weapon skill 2+, and then I'm wounding you on 4s. So that's 2 wounds, 2 3-ups, followed by 5-ups.
So saved one of them.
Yep.
5 up.
Oh, and he makes it, killing one of his plague marines in the process.
Yep.
And then down here, I'm going to have these marines. So we've got 2 attacks each. And then the sergeant has 3. 3s. And then 5s, because your toughness 5. This is, sorry, I should have said this is against the plague marines.
Yeah.
So that is 3 wounds. Not bad at all. So 3+. Fails 2.
Yep.
Wow, and then 2 5-ups for disgusting resilience.
1 dead.
Kills 1, I'll take that.
Yep.
So I'm guessing not the guy with the plasma, obviously.
No.
So morale checks, you would automatically pass because you've only lost 1.
Yep.
Consolidation moves, you can either leave him where he is or you can consolidate 3 inches towards the nearest enemy model.
We are going to consolidate 3 inches towards the next model. I put this on top, just on the corner there. Yep.
Basically there.
Yep.
And down here, of course, I didn't take any casualties.
Yep.
And that's it. So, right, so Space Marines turn 5. I fell back out of combat with these guys. It means they're not going to get to shoot, so I'm more than an inch away. And what we've done is we've pulled the interceptors round to try and kill a few of these. And it will score me 2 more victory points if I can do this. Sharpy did score 1 more victory point, puts him at 6 to my 7. So I've just got to keep pushing ahead a little bit. He's making a mess of the Space Marines, like a lot. So yeah, I think maybe I should have gone after the Poxwalkers earlier rather than going after the drone. But we'll see. But basically, these guys are now going to pour everything into them. So that's a lot of misses.
Thank God.
No, not thank God.
Yeah.
No. So, strength 5, your toughness 5. So I need 4s.
Yeah.
I will definitely take that. So that is 7 wounds at -1. So 7 4+.
7. Come on.
That's 3 fails.
Yeah.
And then you've got disgusting resilience.
Yeah.
So those 3 5-ups. Pass 1, fail 2. So 2 guys down. I'm guessing not the plasma gun.
Nope. Everybody but the plasma.
Everybody but the plasma.
Right.
So, I can't really do anything else. I'm not going to be charging. So combat for this guy. So 4 attacks. Hitting on 2s. And then I'm wounding on 4s. Reroll the 1 because he's within himself. No, you're toughness 5, aren't you?
Yep.
So sorry, 1 wound. 1 wound on him. 3+.
Yep.
5+. No! And then you get to swing back.
Yep, 3 attacks.
Yep. 3s.
All hit.
4s.
1 hit.
1 wound. And he's fine. So, and that's it. So I score this one.
Yep.
Because I've got 3 or 4 models there. You've got 1.
Yep.
I score that one because I've got 1 there. Puts
Yep.
me at 9 points to your 6. But what is the leadership of the Plague Marines again?
The leadership of Plague Marines is 7.
7. So you lost 2.
Yep.
So 2 plus D6. 5 makes it 7. So you're fine. Just if you'd rolled a 6 there, it'd have gone.
I know.
Which is not what you want. So with that, we'll move into Death Guard turn 5. Right. So at the start of Sharpy's turn, his ability to do a mortal wound on a 4+ to any models within an inch confers to him because he's within 7. So on a 4+, you do a mortal wound to the lieutenant.
Which I do.
And Sharpy's already told me what he's going to do. So I'm just going to move the models around for him.
Yeah, he's moving up there.
So there he's within 3 inches, and then he's going up to there.
Yep.
Right. These guys are staying hit, well, an inch away.
He's going around the corner against that unit.
And then he's moving an inch away.
Yep.
So, Flamer.
Yep.
D6 auto hits.
Come on, just give me once, give me a 6. Oh,
4 will do. 4's decent. It's strength 5 though, because you are damaged slightly.
Yep.
So 3s. 2, and was it -2?
Against the flame, I think it was, yeah. Oh, -1. Let's check.
If it's -1,
It's -1.
Then I pass.
Yep.
Plasma gun.
Overcharge.
Do it!
Yep.
Oh no! 2's to wound. 1 wound. The whole unit is not in cover.
Yep.
So I don't get the +1. And unfortunately that just kills the one guy on 1 wound. But it's another guy.
It is another guy.
So, what's happening now? Who's charging where?
Start a contagion first, I think.
Yep, Overwatch. 1 hit, needing 5s, nothing.
Easy.
Yep. Plague Marine. Oh, are you going for the drone first here?
Yep, drone first.
To absorb the Overwatch, of course. So I get a hit, needing a 5, which I don't get. And you don't need to roll it because he's an inch away, so basically, and then the same with the plasma guy. Come on then, do your worst.
4 attacks.
4. 2s and 3s. So 4 hits.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Drone.
Drone.
I think he has 2 attacks now, isn't it?
It is, yeah, 2 attacks.
So he hits on 4s.
Of course.
And then the Plague Marine with 1 attack.
Nothing.
So then I get to attack back with 2 Marines and the Sergeant. This is at the Marine, by the way.
Yep.
So 5s. Nice, that's 2. Come on. Oh, so Sharpy needs a 5+ to stay alive.
No.
No, and the
Last
Plague
range
Marine
down.
goes. Which interestingly means that you don't get this one.
Yep.
But you do get this one. Puts you at 7 to my 9.
Yep.
Right, so we might as well go straight into my turn now.
Yep.
Don't think I can take the drone down. If I retreat, I can't do anything anyway. But yeah, I'm going to retreat. Not that it's going to do much, but basically it's going to make sure that the models stay within 3 inches. Guess where they're going?
Guess where he's going?
Well, you might not get the rest of your turn. Because this is turn 5 to get... Oh, wait. No. No, because I don't... But saying that, you're on 7, I'm on 9. I'm going to get 1, puts me 10. Let's go. Oh, you know what? Let's go for it.
All in.
All in. Balls to the wall. So I now get a lot of attacks. Each of them gets 6 attacks.
He can take it. Oh, he's on 3 wounds as well.
He is, yeah. I'm hoping that he can't take it.
I'm sure he can. I've got faith in him. He's handled so much so already, so...
He needs to die badly. Oh, wait. I can't. Can't target him. Because he's a character, and this guy's closer.
Alright, then, even better.
So in that case, I would actually stay back here. And that's a new rule that a lot of people are going to forget.
Yeah.
You can't target characters if there's a model closer. Right, so by careful positioning, I've pushed the Marines that way a little bit, so that this guy is 12 inches away from the front one. But he's actually 14 inches away from him, which means I can target him. However, the guy at the back is unfortunately out of range. That was my maximum 10-inch move. So, the front guy's at him. So I'm hitting on 3s because of ballistic skill 3+. What's his toughness again? Was it 5?
Yes. Is it? Yeah, toughness 5.
Yeah, well that's 2 wounds at -1.
So 3 up?
2 3-ups.
Or passed.
Past him. and that's basically it for my turn. So I score 1 more point, put me at 10. But let's have a look. No, in this game, Sharpy, it is only 5 turns.
Oh well.
So is Slay the Warlord and everything in effect? Right, so we have just checked, and only war is only 5 turns. There's no Slay the Warlord, there's no Line Breaker, no First Blood. So I do score 10 victory points to Sharpy's 7. What did you think of the Death Guard then?
They're really good. I was hoping that me drone, you would have killed him because he explodes with a 7-inch explosion, which is mortal wounds to everything within 7. So that would have been fun. I was hoping you were going to kill him, and I'd be able to just bomb him into your actual Primaris Marines, but he actually survived longer than I was expecting him to. Neither
of us have a lot left.
No.
No. As soon as the Poxwalkers took fire from them, it just killed them.
Yeah.
I don't think they're great. I think they're probably very situational.
Yeah. MVP, definitely Lord of Contagion.
He is insane. I don't really get the guy with the bell.
He's there just to push you up the field to get you in.
True, because Nurgle is a bit slow, so it is there to help that. The drone was just nuts. I just couldn't kill it.
Yeah.
I think had the plasma been on the opposite side. Killing 4 of my own guys with the plasma though.
Yeah, that was painful.
Man, that was horrible. In hindsight, I probably should have rolled the Gets Hot roll separately, because obviously that might have just been one model that killed himself when I rolled the double 1. But you know, it's basically a walkthrough of how to play the game. I think we covered most stuff. We did consolidations, we've done fallbacks, we've done deep strikes, charges. We didn't get any heroic interventions in there because there was no situation that actually arose. We've done the runs, we've done the weapons and things like that as well. So hopefully we've covered more stuff, and you've enjoyed watching the battle between the 2 starter armies that are in the boxes. Sharpy, it was your first game of 40k, 8th edition.
Yeah.
Opinions?
Love it. Definitely. Nurgle are back, better than ever. So there'll be a lot more Death Guard coming, hopefully. So now, kind of faltered for a bit.
And 8th edition, very, very easy compared to 7th?
Yeah, they've definitely streamlined it, much more in line with a lot of their other GW products, which is great for somebody who's just coming into 40k for the first time. Definitely, definitely.
So, thanks very much for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this battle report. Let us know what your thoughts are on seeing the box set on the table. We'll maybe try and do an Age of Sigmar one. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.